Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Tash and I am a breathwork practitioner and a holistic health coach that specialises in helping women get their periods back. So today I really wanted to talk about what I've gained during my period recovery journey. So obviously I've gained weight and therefore I've gained new clothes because I've had to change my clothes. I've gone up a size in clothes and things like that, and obviously I've physically gained a period. But what else have I gained during this process? So first up, let's start with the freedom around food. So this is a big one. So I used to kind of count my calories, so that I don't do anymore. So there's a lot of freedom around there. I used to kind of feel really negative if I ate certain things, and I would only allow myself to eat these junk food kind of treats at the weekend, and then would kind of binge on them because I haven't allowed myself to have them throughout the week. So that has totally changed. I used to eat my food with certain time slots, so I would only allow myself to eat lunch at this time and have a snack at this time and my afternoon snack at this time, and it was all very structured. It wasn't going on how I really felt, or I was hungry but I had to wait until that 11 o'clock snack time before I could eat. But now I eat literally whenever I want. So if I want to eat my lunch at 11:30, 11:15, I'll just eat my lunch at that time. It doesn't really matter to me anymore. And I used to kind of have a thing where if it was like past 9 p.m, that'd be definite no. You could not eat. Like even if it's 8:45, I just probably wouldn't eat. But now it can be 9:30, 10 p.m, 11, whatever. If I'm hungry or I fancy eating something mentally or physically, I just eat it. The next one is relaxed relationship around exercise. So before, I used to go to the gym around 4 times a week, and I was very structured with that as well and rigid, and I wouldn't like to change my plan. So I had certain gym days. No matter how I felt, I would go. I would end up rushing home after work, eating a little snack, going to the gym, and because my gym was about 20-minute drive or so away from me, I usually got home around 8:30ish, something like that. So I'm eating dinner at 8:30. Well, I'm not eating dinner at 8:30, I'm getting home at 8:30, and it was all just a rush and a big stressful ball that I put myself in on my gym days. Even though I did enjoy the gym, I think I fell out of love with it a little bit because I was pushing myself to go and I wasn't really listening to my body as well. I was getting knee injuries, so when I was squatting, my knee would start hurting, and I just carried on and pushed through that, and it would be months and months, and I just kept on pushing through it. With my recovery journey, I had to give up the gym completely. I reduced it from about 4 times a week to around 2 times a week for a while, and getting rid of any, I was doing weight training and I did like the odd HIIT session, and I got rid of all of those, and I didn't really see any improvements, and I kind of just knew that I probably needed to get rid of the whole lot. So I didn't go to the gym for nearly a year pretty much. Whatsoever, just doing yoga and walking, which was really tough, but it was really needed for me, and it gave me a complete 360 on my mindset towards movement now. Now I don't feel like I have to force myself to work out. I don't feel like I need to do it because of burning calories or society tells me it's healthy to work out or anything like that. It's just, oh, do I want to move today? Do I want to do this movement, etc.? I'll just do that then. There's no pressure, and I don't put pressure on myself anymore, and I don't have like structured days that I would work out or anything like that, so it's so much better. Moving on to the next one, that's a new appreciation for my body and what it can do for me, really. So it's actually crazy to think that of the menstrual cycle and all the little pieces that have to go together and all the hormonal fluctuations that happen. It's just amazing because all of that has to happen in order for you to ovulate, in order for you to get your period, and it affects so many different things. If you've got really low estrogen, if you've got high estrogen, you'll be able to feel it, and you'll have all these different signs and symptoms, and it's just really crazy how it all just works without you really having to pay attention to it. I've definitely gained a ton more knowledge about the whole process, about the menstrual cycle, about periods, hormones, etc. And I think this is due because my doctors and my gynecologist wasn't that helpful in a lot of ways. So they gave me all the routine tests, which was amazing and really great, and I'm very grateful for that I could go to all those tests. But they then said I needed just to go back on the pill. That's the only thing that they could think was going to help me and be my solution. So I then went down my own path and just started really intensely researching the menstrual cycle and all different causes of losing your period and what each hormone does. And I think I just really gained a massive passion for it. So it was actually a blessing in disguise, because now I've gained all this information, read loads of different books, literally tons, loads and loads of podcasts, loads of internet research, and then obviously my own experiences as well, and a little bit about being a health coach and what that course entailed, to bring all of this and encompass all of this into my work now. Another one is I now have normal bowel movements. So before I was quite constipated, obviously I wasn't fueling myself enough. I was more of a dry person, I suppose. They say that in Ayurveda as a more Vata dosha. So I've now got a normal, regular bowel movements, which is really great, and you can really appreciate it when you've gone from being constipated to actually having normal movements. And it's just a massive sign that your body's working correctly. And as a side note, if you're not having a poo regularly, then you're not really getting rid of that excess estrogen, which isn't really a problem for people that have hypothalamic amenorrhea. But in general, a lot of people have PMS, and that can be linked to excess estrogen, and that all ties to how you detoxify and get rid of excess estrogen out of the body. And one of the ways is through our poo. So it's really important to be pooing regularly. Sorry if the word poo grosses people out. I just realised I said the word poo quite a lot of times, but we're going to go past that. Improved hair. Now that's another thing. So I have noticed that my hair is falling out much less. So before I would literally comb my hair, and in the comb there would be tons of hair, and I'd wash my hair and there'd be literally tons coming out all down the sink, everywhere, clumps and clumps, and that's due to the low estrogen there. And now I literally barely ever see any hair in the shower, and when I brush my hair, there's such a small amount that comes out, such a small amount. So that's a really great positive. I've noticed my internal body temperature is a lot better now. I'm not going to say it's completely a-okay, the same as maybe other people, but then saying that, I'm probably comparing myself to my closest friends, which are mainly men that I hang around with, bar one or two females. So as a lot of my circle of friends is men, I suppose they do have a higher internal temperature anyway, so I guess I shouldn't really be comparing myself to them. But I definitely have improved in myself. Normally I would be absolutely freezing, no matter what the kind of time of day is, or if it's really sunny, I would always be much colder than other people. And now I've definitely noticed I'm getting up there. I'm getting to the level where I'm not as cold, and it's definitely a much better improvement. Another one which I see with clients, and I can also agree with, is redefining what healthy actually means. Because let's face it, if you can't really sleep, if you're constipated, if you haven't got your period right now, if you're feeling cold, etc., you are actually not healthy. Especially not having a period, actually pretty much all of them anyway, but not having a period, that is your fifth vital sign, and it shows you that everything's working, that your body feels safe, and just everything is in balance and in flow. And if you haven't got that flow, then something is obviously out of alignment and you are not healthy. So you can potentially look what people see as healthy and what social media and the diet culture tells you to look like. I was in a smaller body and I was more toned and I was quite strong. And you might look at that and think, oh, she looks healthy. But I didn't have my period and my hair was super brittle and thin and I was constipated, etc., etc. I was not healthy. My eyes have been opened to the absolute whirlwind of diet culture. It is a crazy mask that we get put under. It is literally everywhere we look, social media, adverts, even what you just generally say, and then you don't realise it's part of this conditioning, this diet culture conditioning. It's absolutely crazy. It makes you feel like you're never good enough. It makes you feel like you need to look a certain way, and being in a bigger body and seeing the scales go up, etc., that is not good, no way. It's always this strive for perfection and looking a certain way. And even just a compliment, if someone says, oh, you've lost weight, then that people would normally take as a compliment, when that is absolutely crazy. There's so many reasons why someone might have lost weight, even if they potentially even have a eating disorder, that you can't be saying that to people and it shouldn't be taken as a compliment. It absolutely plagues us, and I feel like going through this process of having to redefine what healthy is and realise that they aren't my definitions. I didn't come up with those. Like, where do my values sit? And yeah, where's my evidence for that? And then I've come to the conclusion that they're not mine, and just realising that I can let go of those and feeling more comfortable in my body and just not seeking that validation, really. My last one is the awareness of how much stress affects the body and me in particular too. So I know that I was a stress head and I was pretty much aware of that, but I wasn't really aware to what extent. And then now doing a lot more meditation, a lot more breath work, I can just see the other side of it. I can see when I'm in like pure presence and also like pure bliss with no thoughts and all this like negative chatter, etc. And I can just realise how much, when I'm out of alignment, when I'm overworking, when I'm overthinking, when I'm writing too much on my to-do list, I can really see that parallel now, and I just feel really not aligned in my body. I've also seen it play up in my menstrual cycle. Because I track my menstrual cycle, I track it via my basal body temperature and my cervical mucus. And I have seen when I am slightly more stressed, when I have worked out a little bit too much recently, when I have also had some more coffee than usual, I start to lose my ovulation. My ovulation date pushes further back and back. So this is a reason that my body's like basically talking to me saying, no, we don't feel very safe here. And it's just really understanding that, well, stress has a major effect on the menstrual cycle as a whole, but also I'm pretty sensitive to it still right now as well. I hope you've enjoyed my video, and let me know if you have any questions down below.